Ooh. Hey, Girl Scouts. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some life updates, some of my baby's life updates, things about like my mental health. She's walking now. Good job. And also some neighbor tea, so stay tuned for that. Your food good? Let's just get on into this video. That little face. Ready?
Mommy's gonna catch you.
Yep.
You okay?
I caught her by her face. She went down head first.
I know, she's fine. I tried to lay her back.
Thoughts?
You okay?
Alright, I just figured I might as well just hop on here while fixing my makeup or touching up my makeup and give some mental health updates, because I think the last time I checked in I had just started on therapy and I was like just starting to really get into the work. She's more like holistic meditative therapy. I went to my 1-year postpartum checkup appointment. It was so nostalgic being there. It makes me really miss hearing Lila's heartbeat from inside my belly. Basically, I feel like my anxiety is getting a little bit more manageable. It's like a day-to-day basis, and it really like just depends on what's going on that day. That kind of depends on how easy it is for me to get out of my house, talk to the outside world. Yeah, basically I feel like I'm in a pretty good place. Like, I've been getting my physical health in check, my mental health in check. I'm one of those people that like will avoid the doctors because I don't want to go there and find out that like I'm dying. It feels good to kind of just go on there yesterday, laid out all of the issues I've been going through. I'm trying to find my eyelash curler. This whole place is a mess right now. I really need to clean my house and do a deep clean and organization. It felt good to really just lay all of it out, and just ripped all my eyelashes out of my face. Put myself first for once because I've been going to all Lila's doctor's appointments, putting her first, but I haven't been really taking time to make sure that I'm doing okay at the end of the day. I've just been brushing my problems under the rug, so it feels good to be getting my life back on track. So hopefully that motivates anyone out there watching this right now, that this is gonna make my eyes watering. Keep working at things, make those doctor's appointments, put yourself first. All in all, being a mom showed me what all I need to work on and how much I still need to work on inside. I would want my daughter to be living her best life, her happiest life, especially when she's raising a child. My love for her, my compassion for her, and my drive to make her happy every single day was something that I realized and recognized like I wasn't giving myself that. I wasn't giving myself that self-love. Especially when you're raising a girl, it's really, really important to show her how to love herself, and the first way you can show her that is by loving yourself, putting yourself first. I've had some people since becoming a mom tell me that I'm being selfish or that I put myself first too much. And I know my truth. I know I'm a good mom. I know that at the end of the day, if I need to take a few seconds for myself instead of for my baby, it's because in the long run, it's for my baby. So yeah. Don't listen to the haters. You're never gonna be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. As long as you're trying and working on yourself, I really feel like that's all that matters, and that shows that you care and that you're doing a good job. Give yourself as much grace as possible through this journey. It's something that's said a lot and it's kind of cliche, but really give yourself grace because you're gonna mess up. You're gonna break some of your expectations that you set for yourself. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. And mom guilt is very, very, very real, especially when you have mental health issues. But my baby knows she's loved. That's what matters most, is make sure your baby knows that they're loved and take care of yourself so that you can take care of them. Thanks for tuning in. And I have a walking baby. And now she's as tall as her playpen. She turned 1 and she's walking, has already tried taking off running away from me quite a few times. Come here! Come here, baby! Good job! She says knock knock and knocks on doors. Knock knock knock. Good job. Knock knock knock. You wanna knock for me? She goes, kitty! Kitty! She says meow, moo, neigh. What does a kitty say? Meow. All she cares about is this hose handle. She's like, I'm bringing this inside. This is mine. She has said dada and mama for months now. Say mama. 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 Say hi, Dada. It's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. Hey! Kitty! Is there a kitty out there? I don't see a kitty out there. Can you show me where your nose is? Where's your nose? Up. Yes, good job. I'm making us dinner. Dijon onion crunch chicken, HelloFresh, not sponsored. I just thought I'd give it a try, and I actually really like it, and it makes me feel like a chef. So, HelloFresh, if you want to sponsor me one day, hit your girl up. I want to share a story. Say hi, teething baby. You big waves. Yeah, big waves. So I have some neighborhood tea. We moved in about a year and a half ago after I found out I was pregnant with her. And I noticed pretty quickly that none of the neighbors were introducing themselves. Like, am I supposed to go and introduce myself when I'm new to the neighborhood? I always thought that you were supposed to be, like, welcomed in. Whenever people moved into my neighborhood, I remember, like, making cookies for them when I was growing up and bringing it over to their house and ringing on their doorbell and being like, hello, welcome to the neighborhood, here's some cookies. That's happened, like, once in my life. I mean, it was before COVID, so I figured people would, like, introduce themselves or, like, wave. The neighbors are always outside, so I figured, like, one of them would be like,
hi, how are you? You're new to the neighborhood. What's your name?
So my next door neighbors, they have some kids. They're like in their 30s, late 30s, and I'm in my young 20s. So, I mean, there's some differences there, but I can always get along with someone who's older than me. But I noticed it was like the wife outside smoking cigarettes all the time. Nothing wrong with, I mean, yeah, there's a lot wrong with smoking cigarettes. But, anyways. And her husband, who is always screaming on the top of his lungs, like screaming at his dog, screaming at his kids. Get the frickin' side, Marley, blah, blah, blah. I probably shouldn't be talking so loud because the back door is still slightly open. When the baby daddy leaves for work, I always do like wave bye-bye, and he skirts off, and I will say, yeah, we wave bye-bye. And I will say her dad does drive kind of fast, but like the speed limit in the neighborhood's 20 and he only goes like 25 max. And the other day he skirted off. Yeah, it was dangerous and he shouldn't have done it. I even rolled my eyes at him. But that's something where like if it ticks you off, you like you knock on the neighbor's door and you say, hey, I noticed you've been speeding off. There's kids. I never taught them to look both ways, so sometimes they just ride their skateboards right out in front of moving vehicles. Like it happened to me. They never came and knocked on the door. They just decided, the dude decided to scream from his house slow the F down. And then they got in their car and followed my baby daddy. He noticed that he was on the other side of the road. There was this little turn that he could make. So he quickly skirted, like not using his logic at all. Think about it, there might have been kids. And just did a U-E so that he could go to my baby daddy who's in his car. My baby daddy slowed down, noticed that someone was like trying to come after him, and he rolled his window down. See, I wouldn't have done that. I would have driven home and had the police on the phone immediately. So he rolled down the window, and see, I would have called the cops immediately and like been skirting my way home, being like, frick, you're slow the F down, I'm speeding the F up. You're crazy. But he was like,
if you don't slow the heck down, I'm gonna get out and kick your ass. I saw the way you drove out of here yesterday. You're driving way too fast.
And my baby daddy was just like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong for that. I'll drive slower. Normally I'm only going a few above.
also his gear wasn't in the right shift yet, so he was like,
I hadn't even gotten out of first gear yet, so it was like making the loud noise because it was still like trying to adjust gears.
and I guess he didn't like any of his answers, so he was just getting more and more angry. So, that was scary. So the wife was gardening outside as this was happening, and the baby daddy called me. I was like, he did what? He chased you down? He threatened you? Why didn't you call the cops? Like all loud, because she literally lives right there. Yeah, why didn't you call the cops? I was like, look, you do drive dangerously, I will give him that, but we're adults here. He needs to handle it like an adult. If he has something to say, he can come knock on the door and speak to me. They came back from vacation right before this happened, and he was home alone. So I really have a feeling he was just mad that his family was back. But yeah, so that's the neighborhood tea. I know some people just like aren't the most social. It's just, come on. To not even say a single word, not even introduce yourselves, and that be your first impression. Yikes. My neighbor across the street is nice though. Like I've met him, and then the neighbors behind me are really nice too. And then they're over there screaming when my baby's right here. There's just been way too many men in my life that have not been able to control their temper and get like that. And I just don't want that around my kid. I don't want anyone acting that way around my kid. So let me show the finished product. It burnt off all the cheese, but it's like Dijon onion crunch chicken, like literally all of the honey mustard and cheese melted off. Green beans, and then I have garlic bread. My plate's ready, and so is hers. And I do this thing where I take a picture of each HelloFresh meal I make, and I put it in an album on my phone. Here is my HelloFresh album, and as you can see, I just take pictures of all my meals. I make it look all aesthetically pleasing. So I'm sorry about the lighting. I know it's not the best. I have more therapy updates, so I'm going to do my makeup while talking about that. So my last therapy appointment did not go well at all. There is a huge difference between trying to get your patients out of their comfort zone with productive, helpful healing, and then full-on disrespecting their wishes and crossing their boundaries when they're asking you to stop. So basically that's what happened. I went into my therapy appointment yesterday, and I had missed my week prior because I wasn't feeling well. I've had really bad hip pain since pregnancy. She thought it was like trapped emotions. I honestly think I just need to go see a chiropractor. And she wanted to do some body work to get the trapped emotions out. I'm open-minded to literally anything that will help me heal, but like I'm there for social anxiety. Like I am not there for body work at all. I guess in her mind, she's like, well, you have trapped emotions in your body, so we need to do that. That's part of the process. But the way she was doing the body work, I wasn't comfortable with. She was saying things like,
Oh, I can sense you have thyroid disease in your future.
and then she'd go like, release thyroid disease. And then look at me and be like, do you feel anything? I got home from therapy and realized she could have been putting bad mojo on me. So I was like, whew, release everything I learned in therapy. And she does these things with her fingers. I don't know if it's a normal therapist thing to do that do like holistic healing and energy work, but she goes like this and closes her eyes. I'm starting to think that she's honestly just one of those hippie psychics that will get money. Like almost like I was conned out of my money. But it's just a bummer because the first few appointments went so well. And then all of them started to turn into like stuff like that. She was also saying stuff like,
You have low self-worth or a lack of self-worth in like this part of your bones.
that to me seemed like a subtle diss, does it not? I've been loving myself. I've never felt more worthy. I'm seeking help right now because I value myself so much in my mental health. I'm finally loving myself the way I craved being loved by someone else for years. And to hear her say that was almost like she was trying to tear me down, or like she was just literally pulling it out of her butt. I stopped her and I said, you know what? I don't like this. Can we do something else? And a normal therapist would be like, sure, why not? She made up any excuse under the sun to keep going. Like she just kept pushing and pushing and pushing.
Let's just keep walking through step by step why you don't like this.
And she started reciting everything that was making me uncomfortable, like verbatim. I was like, you know what? No. Can you stop, please? You're crossing my boundaries. And then she was like,
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that I was crossing your boundaries.
I told you to stop. That's the same thing. I was like, I'm uncomfortable right now. She was like, how can I make you comfortable? And I was like, can I just pay and leave? I was like, I will come back next week and hope for a better appointment. I just don't think I can continue on with this appointment with how angry I am. She was like hesitating. She's like, are you sure you want to come back? Because I paid her, she got money out of me for basically making me cry. She kept saying like,
Oh, I'm the professional. I would know. I've been in this practice for years. You're just being stubborn. I think the things I'm reading about you are true.
this is the thing, just because you've been educated and you've been in this practice for however long still does not mean you have the answers to everything and that you're always right. And oh my God, there's other people out there that have different views than you and that don't agree in your practice.
And oh my God, I'm not letting you cross my boundaries, so I'm stubborn.
Good, I'm glad. And I've thought long and hard. Was I wrong about this situation? Was I just, not giving her a chance? And you know what? No, I'm her patient. If I'm not comfortable with something and I'm saying no and stop, you need to stop. It's just that simple. And right now, body work is not something that I feel like I need to be working on unless if it's seriously going to be sitting there helping me leave the house, because that's what I've been struggling with. And it's hard finding help. It's hard getting therapy. It took me a really long time to take that first step because I was so scared to get back into it. Opening up to someone about personal stuff in your life is hard. All the traumas in your life, it's hard. And to have to do it over and over and over again and then have situations like this, it makes it feel very like helpless and hopeless. But I'm not gonna let this get me down. I'm gonna keep going. She's just some self-employed therapist. She can't prescribe medicine. She doesn't know anything about my thyroid. I went to the OB and they said that my thyroid is doing perfect. I literally just came back from the OB the day before therapy. I told that to my therapist and she was like,
Well, that doesn't mean more stuff in the future won't come out.
like, that was so fear-driven and inaccurate. And as someone who has anxiety, why would you tell that to them as is dying? I don't know. Let me just say that there's amazing therapists out there, and my last therapist was wonderful, and I cried having to leave her. I think about her every single day. All the decisions I make throughout the day, I think about her and the things she told me beforehand. But yeah, it's a completely different mental health update than what I told the other day. I still feel like I'm doing well, like better mentally, and I feel like that's all because of me and my mindset. Yes, therapy is super beneficial and I feel like something everyone needs to fully heal and cope throughout life, but don't doubt your own capabilities to drag yourself out of dark holes. I have been the one that's dug myself out of I have been the one that has dug myself out of every dark hole in my entire life. I should have had more of a support system throughout my life at certain times, but I learned to survive. None of this stuff matters. All that matters is the good times. I just want to finish it off by saying that don't let this discourage you from getting help. My goal here is to have fun creating this content, to document my life, the good and the bad, see what all I've gone through, and maybe entertain someone or help someone else. If you've actually watched the whole way through and you have a really good therapy suggestion, then feel free to leave it in the comments, because not all therapists are like this. And I honestly think that, like, she just pushed my buttons. She pushed the wrong girl's buttons, and she kept pushing and pushing, and she forgot what was morally and ethically okay to push. And I think that she's probably used to having patients that are a little bit more not so quick to confront and stand up for themselves. I've had to do it a lot in the past. I've gotten pretty good at, when I feel a certain emotion coming on, I express it. Yeah, those are my mental health updates, and I think I'm just gonna get going now. Thank you so much for watching this video, Girl Scouts. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Say bye-bye.